Hello, and this is Big Bang Bot. Today I'll be watching MikeyAngryBirds reaction. I don't know if he's actually seen the video before he made the reaction video, or if he watched the video before making the reaction video, then made the reaction video. Because usually I know that he watched the video before he made it, but he actually didn't like or favourite it. From what I know, from what I'm aware of. Yes, he did leave a comment, but you don't need to watch the entire thing to make a comment. So, I'm just a bit confused. So, MikeyAngryBird, is this your first time watching in this reaction video, or did you watch it before this reaction video? Let's just watch this video and see how it goes.
Yeah, hello guys, this is Blaze.
Hello, I'm just checking. Yes, that's high enough. He seems a bit quiet.
And I'm Emmett. So today we'll do a reaction video.
I hope it's okay.
Of
Just turn it up
Big
a
Bang
bit.
Bot's brand new review of Spyro.
Just to let you know, what if someone's watching this in 5 years' time? Then it won't be my new review. No, by then I'll probably have somewhere around 100 reviews. Maybe not quite 100, but I guess I'll be close.
Spyro the Dragon for the PlayStation 1. So Spyro 1 was first in development back in 1996, I think.
According to WikiPiki, which isn't the most reliable site in the world, but whatever, I think it said 1997. I even got it up, so I can just double check if you want. Yeah, it says 1997. So yeah.
After Crash Bandicoot was finally done in development from 1994 through 1996, they actually said that since that the creators of the game were concerned, they just think that in order to compete with Nintendo for some like kids-friendly game, because 3D platformers are possibly popular to young kids, so.
Yeah, Spyro was mainly made to market the PS1 to younger audiences because the more popular games were not very kid-friendly.
Also,
except for Crash Bandicoot, but they wanted more than Crash Bandicoot, so they made Spyro.
there was some problems that they actually forgot which protagonist is it. So some guy, Craig Stitt, actually said he chose the dragon because he's a lot of the mythical creatures, or yeah, I don't know.
He's kind of quoting the Did You Know Gaming episode on this, and I know because I've only just finished watching it, just to double check my facts.
Yeah, so here it is.
Hello, and this is Big Bang Bot. Today I will be reviewing Spyro the Dragon for the Sony PlayStation. Now
yeah, you don't know. It's a platinum version. Yeah. I don't know how you didn't have if you have the PlayStation 1 game cases that are just thrown away. Maybe they're garbage or something. Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know either, because I do not remember getting the game. My family might have bought it with their own money, but they lost the case, or they just bought a copy off of the internet, which was cheap, and it didn't come with the case. So I don't know what happened. I don't know whether we lost the case, or it didn't come with the case, or we've just hidden the case somewhere, secret, but I don't know.
a very quick history lesson.
And I mean a very quick history lesson, because I do miss out some things, although I will go into a bit more into the history lesson. Spyro was originally meant to be green, but he was changed to purple due to him blending in with the grass if he was green. So that's one thing I thought that was worth mentioning.
Let's just say that the PlayStation had a lot of violent games.
Okay, wait a bit. I'm back!
Including Final Fantasy VI,
Final Fantasy VII. Silly boy. Final Fantasy VI came on the Super Nintendo, silly. And remember, you Americans know it as Final Fantasy III. I think it came on the PS1 because, you know, it's available on the PSN store. But that might just be a port of the original SNES version.
Evil, Metal Gear Solid, and Tomb Raider.
Well, I don't think Metal Gear Solid would... Personally, I don't think Metal Gear Solid would have been one of the more popular games at the time when Spyro started its development, because Metal Gear Solid came out in 1998, the same year as Spyro 1, so... Yeah. Although Tomb Raider did exist in 1996, Final Fantasy VII was out in 1997, and Resident Evil was out in 1996. So those ones I can accept. Metal Gear Solid, I don't think so. I know it's from the Digital Gaming episode, so shush.
Yeah, that was Digital Gaming actually talked about it from their episode back in like summer 2013. Yeah, that's from last year.
Sony wanted some more kid-friendly.
Yeah, but it might not be last year when people are watching this. You do realise that people could be watching this in the 22nd century. It could be possible. We could live that long. I'm sure that the internet will still exist by then. Most definitely. But you'll probably be able to control the internet with your mind. And YouTube will probably be a lot more different. And it might be worse.
Any games, and that's what the PS4 needs. So they got Insomniac Games, who would later go on to create Ratchet and Clank and Resistance.
Now, here's a funny thing. Now, in a failed recording of that very first part, I accidentally said that Insomniac made Uncharted. How stupid can I be? It was made by Naughty Dog, the same people who made Crash Bandicoot, not Spyro. Good thing I noticed it straight away, so I redid the shot and then I said Resistance and not Uncharted, which feel happy that I made that correction and didn't miss it out.
Oh, here's one quick trivia. In the Digital Gaming page, and also in the video, it says, in Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, there was a large orange enemy with a wrench and a small robot.
Yes, and they eventually turned into Ratchet and Clank. So basically, they were the precursors for Ratchet and Clank. Yep.
Accompany him. They seem to have some as the bases for the characters Ratchet and Clank. Some of the games developed both Spyro the Dragon and Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, we just added. Yeah, that's a quick trivia. That's a cool trivia.
To make a kid-friendly platformer for the kiddies to enjoy, and everyone to enjoy, so they made Spyro the Dragon.
Up until the Legend of Spyro games, maybe that because they targeted to older.
Actually, Insomniac stopped making Spyro games after Spyro 3. Then they moved on to Ratchet and Clank. Then they got other people to make Spyro games. And you know what I said about Enter Dragonfly in my previous reaction video / response? Yeah. I actually kind of lied, because I actually kind of like Enter the Dragonfly. I mean, the glitches are just entertaining. It's just entertaining, swimming in the air and clipping through walls. It's just interesting. You're much better off playing the old Spyro games, particularly Spyro 2. Well, kind of, unless it's the Japanese version, then you can just choose. But, hey, whatever. Oh, and by the way, you're much better off playing the European / North American version of Spyro 2 rather than the Japanese version. Much better off, because this is much slower, and unlike the Japanese version of Spyro 1, there is no way to speed you up. So, if you do live in Japan, definitely import the North American / European version of Spyro 2. It's a lot more common, and while it'll take longer to get to you, it's still a lot more common. And it's better.
Kids. Until Skylanders actually go back to younger kids, because they think Activision actually made Call of Duty series, but they're too violent. They can make this.
Yeah. Call of Duty should die. It should go drown. Same with Flappy Bird. And Minecraft. Those games need to drown in a pool of lava.
Kid-friendly game. And this that toy. Put the toy in the portal, and then it comes live, man, under the game screen and TV.
Which I see as, I see Skylanders as like one of the biggest games, one of the games with the most DLC. It's not the game with the most DLC. That will have to go to Ribbon, because you can practically put in any CD into your PS1, and then you can just rhythm along with the song. If that even makes sense. You can just play along with the song. You can choose whatever song you like. You're not restricted. Yeah, I hope you know what I'm talking about. Vib Ribbon.
Why Activision? Why? Why you actually sold Crash Bandicoot franchise to Sony?
That's a good idea. If they have sold Crash Bandicoot to Sony, that is an amazing thing. If that's true, I will be so happy. That will mean PS4 exclusive Crash Bandicoot, and that means me wanting the PS4, and that might eventually lead up to me getting the PS4. Please, Sony, please make a PS4 exclusive Crash game. Please, I'm begging you.
Thank God, this has been a long time. This is a long time. So let's continue on.
We need a new Crash Bandicoot game, especially a good one. Because Crash of the Titans wasn't that amazing. I did not hate the character design. I just thought the game was kind of boring because you walked so slow. I like fast-paced games. I like games where you get to run fast. That's why I like Sonic so much, because you get to go at a fast speed. I don't like it when games make you slowly move around. But that's one of the problems of Crash of the Titans. You move too slowly.
The game came out in September of 1998.
Yeah, it's like, let's see, 2 years after Crash Bandicoot 1 released, and 1 month until, like, Crash Bandicoot 3 Warp.
In North America, October of 1998 in Europe, and April of 1999 in Japan.
Yeah, that's 1 year, because they think it has a lot of...
Now I believe, well, at least I think, that the Japanese version of Spyro 1 actually came out on April Fool's Day. Ah, so that explains all of the bad changes they made. Ah, at least I think it's so. It says that on, like, a video explaining all the differences in the Japanese version of Spyro 1. It doesn't say that on Wiki, but whatever. The Japanese version of Spyro 2 was not released on April Fool's Day, which makes the stupid changes even more stupid.
Some time constraints. They actually pushed the original release on Christmas 1998 before it pushed back until spring 1999. So,
because all of the stupid changes they made. Although some were good, I just love it when Spyro yells. His extra dialogue is amazing. He is voiced by a woman, even though he's male, but still, it's just amazing. If you want to hear Spyro say some awesome things, then you should definitely pick up the Japanese version of Spyro 1. When he yells when he dies, it's just amazing. And it's also amazing when you collect all the gems, because in the English version, you don't know when you've collected all the gems. You just have to check. But in the Japanese version, Spyro yells, "Yatta!" which means you got all the gems. Okay, that's not what it translates to, and I don't know what it translates to, but when he says that, it basically means you've got everything. Well done. Well, all the gems anyway, but still. And it's just so satisfying, and Spyro makes a really weird sound when he drowns in the Japanese version.
Oh, here's the... Oh, my hand. Here's the one quick trivia. When Spyro 1 actually wasn't being in development, like 2 years in development, Spyro was literally meant to be green. However, this caused problems.
Yes, I know, and if you've seen this video, then you should know that I just told you that earlier.
As Spyro kept blending with most of the greeny environments. The developers decided to make him purple to stop him blending or bleeding. Blending, yeah, not bleeding.
Yes, it is blending, because if he was bleeding in with the grass, then that will be kind of gross. Especially for a game that was made for everyone and not just grown-ups.
Silly me.
Now this game has received above average to ultimate praise. In fact, I even know someone who would call this game their...
Thank you for that joke, and also AngryBirds words. Thank you. And also this video brought you from Stimpy Red. I forget his name.
The Stimpy Lad.
YouTuber. Yeah. That random
So,
clip is
considering praise like that, then this game better live up to it. So, let's play the game.
And here we go. Thank you.
You don't even know how satisfying it is, slamming on the PS1 buttons and slamming the door shut. That is just like the most satisfying thing ever. It's not as satisfying on the PS2 Slim, because the sounds are not clunky enough. However, on the PS1, they're nice, clunky, loud, and cool.
Man, how old is PlayStation 1? Man, is it?
It first came in Japan in December 1998, 1994, silly me. Why did I say 1998? Okay, so the PS1 came out in Japan on December 1994, which almost makes it 20 years old as of the making of this video. Man, I am feeling old. I mean, the PS2 is like 14 years old. That's already making me feel old.
Actually, like 20 years or 25 years?
The PS1 is not 25 years old. Yes, it may have... Yes, if you count the development of the SNES CD going up to the PlayStation, then maybe it's 25 years, but it's been out for, as of the making of this video, a total of 19 years and 4 months, roughly, as the time I made this video.
I believe it's 20, maybe it's 2014. Let's see.
The PS1 came on 1994 in Japan and 1995 outside of Japan. I even heard that the Korean version came on 1996. Oh, and the PS1 was also banned in China. And do you want to know one game that made it banned? Not only Resident Evil, but I also heard that Crash Bandicoot banned PS1 in China. What? Crash Bandicoot? I can understand Resident Evil because, you know, it's a gross survival horror game. But Crash Bandicoot is just a silly little game of a silly little walking bandicoot who spins his enemies. What's so bad about that? Man, the Chinese can be not very smart sometimes. Seriously, Crash Bandicoot is not violent. If you think that it was too violent, don't release it. It's that simple. Don't ban an entire console so that people have to import games from places such as Japan.
Let's see, 1995 at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Boring.
1995, I guess. 2000. And now, we all have a PlayStation 1's 25th anniversary birthday. Hang in there, Sony.
So you're going to make a PS1 20th anniversary birthday. Well, you have to do that on the PS1's actual 20th birthday, which I think is on December 9th, 2014, when it becomes 20. I might be a bit wrong, but I know it was December 1994 in Japan. It was roughly around that time. Wait, I think it might have been December 3rd of 1994. Well, I don't know. All I know is it came out in Japan in December of 1994, so just keep that in mind. The earliest PS1 game I know that existed was Motor 2 Grand Prix. Not the one that you're all familiar with, but actually of Japan-only Motor 2 Grand Prix game, which came out in Japan on December 19th or 20th, 1994. Now that is extremely early. It only came out in Japan, never left Japan until the sequel came out. Then that was released outside of Japan, even though the American version was called Motor 2 Grand Prix 1, which may confuse some people, just like the Final Fantasy movements in America and compared to Japan also confuse people. It's just a lot of things to talk about.
Gosh, that logo. It's giving me chills. Well, we're not get chills.
Yeah, when I was younger, the PS1 and PS2 startup screens always, and I mean always, disturbed me. Especially that red screen on the PS2. If your PS2 couldn't read a disc, sometimes it'll just show you that red screen, and I hated that red screen when I was young so beeping much. It scared the living beep out of me. It's not scary nowadays, but back when I was young, it was the scariest thing ever. Seriously, I do not get scared of fan art, as in creepy fan art from creepypastas. But the PS2 starts up, as in when the screen went red because it couldn't read a disc. That was scary when I was young. And that's saying something because it's very hard to scare me with creepy fan art and horror movies.
Thank you. Alright, here's the...
In case you want to know Spyro's backstory, let's read the Japanese manual. Or at the very least, just look at it, because I can't read Japanese. But let's pretend what it says. Once upon a time, in a peaceful dragon kingdom, there were 2 thieves stealing dragon eggs. The dragons hated them, and they wanted their dragon eggs back, so they scared them off to get their eggs. Then they were looking at the eggs anxiously, and then they saw that the yellow one had wings. It was very interesting. They were waiting to see what was inside the egg. Then, all of a sudden, a purple dragon named Spyro popped out of the red egg, and a green dragonfly named Sparks appeared out of the yellow one. The dragons were very mesmerized from what they were seeing. They were very interesting things, so they decided to take care of them because, you know, they're dragons. The dragons taught Spyro and Sparks how to fly, charge, flame, do whatever the BP needs to learn. And then the dragons just make Spyro feel welcome, and they make him into the family, and they just like him. This Spyro lives in the Artisan's World, or Green Garden in Japan, which is a very nice and peaceful place where dragons live in harmony. This is what its overhead map looks like, which you might find interesting. But that was all going to change one day, and then the game's main plot starts. I hope you enjoyed that. And by the way, I was just making the lines up because I can't read Japanese. So if you want to know what it really says, then just ask a Japanese expert, or just read it, or just get the manual yourself and read. Or if you are an expert at Japanese, just get the manual and read it, and tell me what it says. Oh, sorry, I was just looking at things.
Spyro 1 has a very silly and simplistic story.
It's almost as stupid as Crash Bash's plot, to be honest.
Yeah, not as pretty cool as Spyro 2 Reptile's Rage back in, like, 1999, yeah.
March 2000 in Japan, do not forget this. It was 1999 everywhere else, but in Japan it was March of 2000. In fact, on the Japanese Spyro 2 disc, it even admits that it was made in 2000. I don't know if you can see, but it admits it was made in 2000. The Spyro 1 disc does not admit it was made in 1999, it says it was made in 1998. Okay.
Yeah, you don't know. 1999 is it's evil, but it's the last year of the 90s until 2000 arrived, and then make it good, then bad in 2010, then make it good again in in the Midwest of 2010. Yeah.
It starts off in the Dragon Realms. There's a news.
What did you find so funny? So seriously, I'm interested. What do you find so funny? When I said we start off in the Dragon Realms, or when the dragon said, okay, rolling, and then the other dragon says, oh! Oh, I don't know.
I didn't know the dragons had cameras, but...
Yeah, cameras don't... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that dragons lived in medieval times, and I'm pretty sure that cameras didn't exist till, like, the 19th century, which was way after the medieval times.
Don't make fun of Cloudy Shed's meatballs. What?
I'm not making fun of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs at all. I'm just saying that dragons do not have cameras. And if they did, how would they be able to use them? They don't have hands. But Spyro can climb, so... I don't know, maybe they're just smart. Maybe they're time-traveling dragons. Maybe they live in the modern realms in places we don't know. Oh, I don't know.
Fun with Sam Sparks always has a big butt. Yeah. Stop talking to me, Sony, for make this film and this game always has that similar feel. Well, different. Yeah, this one's it's actually from the 90s, and the movie itself is back in late 2000. late 2009.
Okay, you can stop talking about Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I've only seen the first one, and while the beginning was kind of okay, the rest, which is more action-packed scenes, I just didn't like those scenes. I prefer the first 2/3 of the movie, but the rest I didn't really like that much. The movie was not that good, it was just meh.
So then they start talking about this bad guy, about a bad guy called Nasty Nork.
Yeah, that's him. That green ogre thing. No, not green ogre, that green...
You do realise that none of us can see Nasty Nork, so I'm just going to show you a cute Japanese anime-looking Nasty Nork. Here he is! Here's Nasty Nork! Made by Japanese people! Unlike the game, which was made by Americans! that was fun.
That green guy, one of the minions, the Rhinox, the green Rhinox, the leader.
The Rhinox do not appear until Spyro 3.
Until Ripto appear in the sequel. Yeah, you know. Like, Ripto. Cushy. It says R-I-P-T-O. Yeah. Just like a lot of, like, bad comments, a very horrible reaction video back in, like months, a week ago, because that actually similar word, it says Ripto. Stop it. Yeah.
And they start criticizing about him. Because they hate him.
Yeah.
And I mean that they hate him, and he hates them, so he freezes every single dragon in the Dragon Realms, except for little old Spyro.
Yeah. His voice. Spyro himself is also the same that guy who's also the same voice of Crash Bandicoot from the Crash Bandicoot games until...
Yeah, I know, and then in the second game they replaced Crash Bandicoot with SpongeBob as Spyro's voice. And then SpongeBob decided to voice a bunch of other characters in Spyro 2, such as the Professor. And maybe those weird guys in Hurricane.
And also he is famous for the Taco Bell Chihuahua fame.
Chihuahua! Ha ha ha, Chihuahuas are. Chihuahuas.
Don't get no Taco Bell. Please stop it, damn it.
Spyro over here, or little young Spyro, whatever. So
okay, here's a Hidden Angry Birds shirt. If you've seen it, maybe I should get these. Maybe you are an Angry Birds fan. Well, until the series...
I'm not an Angry Birds fan. I don't even care that much about Angry Birds anymore. I guess the games were kind of fun. but I just didn't enjoy them that much. I'm just not an obsessive Angry Bird fan. I'm not even an Angry Bird fan. I just see them as overrated games where all you do is fling birds. They're not bad games. I guess they can be fun. I have had some fun with Angry Birds, but it's just not my favourite type of game. It's not like Flappy Bird, where it's like the most monotonous thing ever. All you do is just press the screen or one button. If you're playing the PC version, the spacebar or clicking on the screen. It's just so monotonous. Like, seriously, how could people murder people just so they get angry at Flappy Bird? I've never seen anyone kill someone because they got angry at Battletoads. So how come people are killing others or committing suicide because they can't beat Flappy Bird or can't do well in Flappy Bird? Blah.
Come on a little bit. Pretty milk. Bad. Angry Birds go.
That's my annoying dog. Let's carry on.
Milking again for Angry Birds Stella. Here's, okay, let me get some comments. See, it said, okay, yeah, that's just comments. Why is the camera inventor? Yeah, that's from the music from Stimpy. That's actually video coming soon. See, video is coming this Friday. Alright, let's see. How is this longer than Angry Birds the movie 2? My review was 34 minutes long, and that video was 100 minutes long.
108 minutes long. It was 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 50-something seconds. Now that roughly goes to 107 minutes and 50-something seconds, but if you round it to the nearest whole number, that will be 108 minutes.
Like, like that film that he released back in February, and we got 6 parts back in November, then done it on the 2013, then released it on early February.
Up to our main hero, Spyro, to save the other dragons and to rescue the Dragon Realms as we all know it.
Yeah, your face is pretty stupid, but...
Yeah, my face does suck. I do not like my face. It's just not very good. I do not like my face.
You're so cool. I love you, man.
I'm cool. Thank you. I love it when people in school mention that they've subscribed to me. That is just really cool. And if you're from my school and you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, then if you like what you see, then please subscribe. And ask me questions in the Q&A video if you want more. If you want me to answer some of your questions, if you have any. And remember, you can ask as many as you want. I'm giving you no limits.
Man, you're pretty cute to me, but your face is stupid. But I love you. No, I mean, please stop it.
The story is simple and silly, and yeah, it's not that good, but hey, it's a PS1 game which is aimed for younger audiences, so hey, I wasn't expecting super deep plot, plus I don't care about the story.
Yeah, you can hear that alright. Sorry for that little interruption, and I'm sorry if the video is in the wrong place.
The gameplay
I'm
is
just sorry.
Yeah.
Inspired.
Even though people say, this game sucks because the graphics suck. Graphics do not matter. If a game looks awful, that doesn't mean it is awful. Okay, that's not always the case. I mean, Bubsy 3D, according to most people who've played it, looks awful and plays awful, but hey, even if a game looks really good, that doesn't mean it is really good.
There are a total
A lot of the time.
of 6.
Excuse me? Why you get that green frog, that green ochre thing? Oh, that's green Rhinox.
Wells, which I will be
There aren't any Rhinox in this game. They do not come until Spyro 3.
calling by their cliche. Let's see.
They're Norks.
We have Grass World. The evilness of the war zone, because
I originally called it the African War Zone, but I thought that might have been too racist and I might have offended some African people, so I got rid of it. And replaced it with just War Zone.
Yeah, because they actually has enemies that like moving around like Crash Bandicoot 1 and Croc. Yeah, like Croc. Just go watch it on Catiericus for that.
Yeah, he is a great guy. Even though his Croc review may not be my favourite, it's still a good review.
From back in like 2011 or 2012. Yeah.
He made his Croc review in 2013. He started YouTube in 2011, then he started reviewing games in 2012, then he deleted all of his great old videos, and then in 2013/14 he moved them on to Caddy's Conundrums, or Conundrums as his intro calls them, or it, whatever, and then he just carried on making game reviews, and now I'm really sad that all of his old videos are now finished. He's uploaded all of them. That makes me sad because he made so many good old videos before he started reviewing games. I can name so many. There's the dog, or he's the dog, silly me. There's that ostrich nursery rhyme and that beeping Bible rap. That is so epic. If you're from my school, and if you haven't seen it, go watch it now. And even if you're not from my school, still go watch it. And then there's his last one, How to Pull Birds, which I also really like. And I also like some of his remixes.
yeah, the magicalness of Magic World.
Oh my god, it's Fantasia again.
Okay, then where's Mickey Mouse? Where's Sorceress Mickey Mouse? Where is he? He's nowhere, exactly.
No, it's not.
The spookiness and weirdness of Swamp World.
In the Japanese version, all of the hub worlds are called gardens except for the last one. Which you will know what it's called in a little bit more time.
Ouch.
The dreaminess of Dream World, or as I like.
Wait. Dreamlike Land? Wait.
Okay, its name is Dreamweavers. I personally like calling it Dreamweavers because the flow sounds a lot better, turning the R into a W, and since Weaver starts with a W, and it seems like a word that should start with R's and it should be Reavers, then the term Dreamweavers sounds like an awesome match, way better than Dreamweavers.
I hear a chicken noise. Yeah, why is the chicken noise? Why isn't the noise in the first one?
I don't know where that chicken noise is coming from.
Weavers, and last but not least,
Okay.
the smallest one of them all, the most generic one of them all, the one with the most simple name out of all of them that I don't even need to make a...
Well, at least in the Japanese version.
Like Mario 64, but a pretty free platform.
Cliche name for it, Nasty's World.
Okay, guys. I know it's called Nork's Nexus, but in the Japanese version of the game, it's called Nasty World. Well, at least according to what I know off the internet, because, you know, I can't read Japanese. So, please, shush. Shush. It was called Nasty's World in the Japanese version, so shush. Shush, shush, shush. I know its European name, / North American name is Nasty's Nexus, so shush.
Dum dum dum.
It's called... Okay, I know it's called... Nork's Genix. It's called Nasty World in the Japanese version, so... Shut up!
Yeah, shut up. I know it's called Nasty's Nexus in every version except the Japanese version, but it's called Nasty World. And since that's its simplistic name, I just went with it.
Well, don't say shut up for me. Just calm down. Like, don't...
I'm only warning you that I know that its English name is Nasty's Nexus and not what you called it.
Said shut up.
After all, his English is not the best. Sorry about that, but in my opinion, it's just not.
Up for me, please. It's just in America. It's American. Not. It's just America. But it's Japan.
In each hub world, there are a total of 5 levels.
Like Mario 64.
3.
Actually, in Mario 64, the first part of the castle had 4 levels, the second part had 6, and the final world had 5. Yeah. And I know this for a fact, because I've never, ever played Boo's Haunted House, or whatever it's called, before fighting Bowser.
Normal levels.
Like Mario 64.
Actually, every single level in Mario 64 is normal, except for the Bowser levels and all the secret levels.
1 boss level.
Like Mario... Oh, gosh, okay. This is not Mario 64.
Yeah, it's not Mario 64, because Mario 64 only had 3 parts of the castle with 3 Bowsers. However, this game has 6 hub worlds and 1 boss in each. Which aren't just all the same boss, just harder each time.
1 flight level, which I'll get into later. Now, Spyro...
Yeah, fly, Spyro. Just fly. Just get those barrels.
1...
Now this raises the question, why couldn't Spyro just fly? If Spyro could fly, why couldn't he just fly all the way to Nasty Nork, then burn him to death, and then fly all around the Dragon Realms to save all the dragons? That would have been so much more simple, but nope. Instead he just had to charge his way through every single level, save a certain amount of dragons, collect a certain amount of eggs, and save a certain amount of dragon eggs, and then he could move on. But he could have just flew everywhere. He could have just gone flying all around the place, but he didn't.
They're not talking time barrels for a nutshell.
But hey, the game would have been too easy if that was the case.
Getting from point A to point B. Oh no. Well, you can still do it if you want to, but whatever, you won't get anywhere if you do that. Nope. Instead, it's about there are gems which come in different colours, which all have their different amounts depending on the colour.
Yeah. Wait, a GameCube controller?
So we're gonna use this GameCube
Yes, a GameCube controller.
controller for, you know, explaining.
It's a joke. Just keep that in mind.
Red is 1, green is 2, blue is 5, yellow is 10, and wait, where's the green and the purple one?
It's on the GameCube.
Purple is 25. Whoop.
Yeah, stop taunting me, Sony.
Oops, that wasn't meant to happen.
I was just shaking the controller and then all of a sudden it just flew out my hands onto the ground. Yeah, I didn't do that on purpose, it was an accident.
Controller fail.
Gems can be found just lying around in steel crates, which you can either burn or charge into. Inside enemies. In steel containers, which have to charge into to try and burn
Music
them.
looks awesome this game, but did you know that in Spyro 1, Stuart Copeland...
Yes, I did know that he made the music and then Jacques went into the Stuart Copeland anthology and then Wizard Peaks went into the Amanda Show's credits.
Drummer of famed rock group The Blaze composed the soundtracks of the first 4 Spyro the Dragon video games. The music is for the level Jacques.
The first 4 Spyro games. By the 4th one, do you mean Enter the Dragonfly or Season of Ice? Because Season of Ice, Spyro Advance in Japan, came out first. So you need to be a bit more clear with what you say.
In Spyro the Dragon appears on his greatest hits album, the Stuart Copeland anthology.
From what I'm aware of, the only one that made it there is Jacques, but hey, more of them could have made it there, I don't know. I mean, Jacques was the only one mentioned in the Did You Know Gaming episode, but whatever. Now, in case you're wondering why the quality is different, it's because I'm now filming off my laptop, and it's the day after I recorded all of the previous parts of this, as in, like, the last 40 minutes. And yeah, let's just carry on, and yeah, just explain why the quality's different.
And also another one, if you know, is actually, if you know, that like is actually recorded, actually talk about it. The closing titles theme music from the Amanda Show is taken directly from Spyro the Dragon also. Okay?
Yep, and I even explained that in the review, or said that in the review.
Looking for music reference.
You'll never, ever, 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 ever.
Just to let you know, you should have talked about all of the soundtrack stuff when I actually got to the music. But oh well.
Burn them or open them. Steel crates, you can only
Okay, let's just skip it.
You seriously skipped the bit where I tried to use a real key to open that treasure chest. Really? That was one of my favourite parts of the review. Did you seriously skip that part? Really? Really? Wait, did he like that part? Wait, did he even watch that part? Because trust me, you might find it quite entertaining if you watch it. That was like my favourite part of the review.
These things would have to burn, and then the gem pops out, and then you need to grab the gem, which actually comes in every single gem colour. So that is the most
Yay, 5 for blue.
unique one, because it comes in every single gem colour, unlike everything else, where you don't know what colour gem is in there. But you know what colour gem is in those ones, because it has the colour of the gem, and yeah.
Okay.
And then last but
Here's a random picture.
not least, we have these steel crates where you need beeps such as fireworks to destroy them.
Or the supercharge.
Kids, don't use fireworks, because it's illegal. Well, unless you're 18, but kids aren't 18, so whatever.
Yeah.
Gems are special because, unlike
Alright, let's get this gem part.
50 dragons, as it says here.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Because there aren't any interesting moments. Unlike the part where I try and use the key. Seriously, why did you skip that part?
10
Alright,
dragons,
100%.
6,000 gems, like it says here, 1,000 gems, and 3 eggs.
Basically, if you don't know, I just made a stupid pictogram thingy to show all of this stuff. Now, you can't see it, but go check out the original review if you want to see that pictogram. It's awful. It was meant to be awful because it was meant to be a joke.
And that is just one egg. So yeah, that's all the beat you need to beat Spyro 1. And if you had to do this in like English, you'd probably get a 1C because
Spyro 1.
look at all of this awful grammar I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that grammar, while it's worse than yours is still not that good.
All of those.
Now use.
Charge! You press circle to burn stuff.
Okay.
The whole triangle to go to the next camera view.
And to see the infamous part
So, I guess it's inverted!
Now, I think that most PS1 games, or any game where you need L2 and R2 to move the camera, you use L2 to go right and R2 to go left. But it's still worth mentioning, and here comes the bit.
Here's the infamous part ever. You will gonna blow your mind. The inverted camera stuff.
Now, for whatever reason, when Stimulan made his re-review on Crash Princess, he said, the original song sucks, so I'm going to play you this remix, and the remix sucks. I prefer the original one much more. Now, in case you don't know, Stimulan made that remix thing. Well, Strikes Back made it, but it was for Stimulan. And it came from the part where it was playing a Bratz game on PS2, and the camera was inverted. And then he yelled, "Why is the camera inverted?" And then that remix was invented and then put into the Crash Twinsanity review. Then he uploaded his own version. Then he made his Crash Twinsanity review. He played the song for a bit. He said it sucked, and then made the remix, which wasn't as good. The end.
Okay, let's
So you can roll by using the L, which is not inverted.
Yeah. Barrel, fail. This barrel, fail. Do the barrel, yes. This barrel, fail.
But the rolling is beeping useless, so...
Eating Wotsits or cheese puffs, whatever.
It wasn't really worth mentioning, but hey, it's about the control, so I might as well explain everything.
Yeah, we know.
One cool thing about the flame and the charge is that the game knows that those are your abilities, so some enemies can...
Right, just skip it.
Well, it does.
Just skip it.
Well, since he skipped it, I'm not going to show you the Japanese manual to look at it, but I'm still going to give you the Japanese manual. Yeah, I lied. I'm going to show you the Japanese manual. Show off what I mean. So basically, here's the Japanese manual for Spyro 1. Yeah. And basically, here's what it means. If they have some metal armor which isn't too strong, you can't burn it, but you can charge into them. And if they're too big, you can't charge into them, but you can burn them. So yeah, that's nice and simple. Just remember that forever and ever and ever, and then everyone will like you. Unless the camera's inverted.
Getting kissed by this fairy, and all it does is make your breath.
Yeah, while the fairy at the didn't say hi.
I have the feeling, I have a feeling that he's watched this before, and that's against what a reaction is.
The process. And also the one thing that is that the portal thing, the tornado thing that they make the system more progress thing or whatever that is. Yeah, I don't have a beat idea for that.
Stronger for these great super strong metals.
When I do my skips, when I do these reactions, I guess.
And the supercharge.
Okay, that wasn't completely, but whatever. Well, Stimpy Dan put it in his review. And Spyro did say that in the main game. Stimpy Dan just did that little thing in his review where he just says supercharge. And then Pat Strikes Back to do it for his Spyro the Dragon review.
It's also voiced by Tom Kenny, who's also voiced by SpongeBob. Also, Clayton Brown was voice of the dragon, the other dragons from the, also voiced of Mr. Krabs from the SpongeBob SquarePants series. Yeah. Thank you.
Where Spyro can literally go so beeping fast and still break metal.
Run,
I'm going to give it back. I'm going to give you something proof of that. Hey, Sonic, have you ever heard of this new guy called Spyro? He's way faster than you. No, he's not. Yeah, he is. Okay.
Now, the rivalry between Sonic and Spyro. It may not be big, but back in 1998, it was crazy. And I mean crazy. I mean, Sonic and Spyro just hated each other. They just hated each other. They didn't like each other at all. They just hated each other. Sonic hated Spyro more, but they still hated each other. So, yeah.
Okay, then prove it to me. Okay, I will.
Run faster. No, you're right. Or easy about that word.
What? I told you, Sonic. I hate you. You'll never be my friend again. I don't care. Anyway, you killed my first copy America Double Dash, so die, Sonic.
I don't want to die. I've come back from the dead. You know what, Sonic? Just get together with Spyro and kiss each other. No way! Fine. I'll throw you again. That's better.
Yeah. And then you got American version, the second copy of Mario Kart Double Dash. Not the Japan version, but just a North America, a UK version, rather than North America, because Japan is extremely popular.
The bosses are jokes. They're pathetically easy, pathetically lame, and
they are stupid. The other Spyro 2 bosses are better than this.
Yeah, Spyro 2 did have better bosses. And yeah, the end.
Not really worth mentioning at all. I mean, just look at the first boss. Look how lame he is. Just look. It's a stupid sheep. That is obviously lame.
Yeah, Spyro 2 does have much better bosses. Yeah. I mean, Crush and Gulp are just really cool. Ripto's really cool, and the mini bosses, they're not as good, but still. Spyro 2 does have some good bosses. However, Spyro 1, its bosses just suck. Dragon Balls. And not the Dragon Balls you're thinking of.
Now, there aren't really any more bosses to mention because they're all lame. Although one is called...
And if you want me to be referring to those Dragon Balls, then collect all 7 of them, and then wish that I was referring to those Dragon Balls, and then bam. The end.
So hard in case you're interested.
Now let's, Superman 64. Okay, let's head back. Let's head back.
Mentioning at all.
Oh yeah, let's head back. Then...
That is...
52.
Destroy 8 of each object that the game gives you to destroy.
Okay.
Now, if you get all 8 in one objective, you get 60 gems.
Yeah.
If you do everything in one go, you get 300 gems.
300 Spartans? No.
As for the events you do, the ones that reoccur are breaking chests and going through arches.
Yeah, this reaction video, I'm actually liking it. I did not like the Super Smash Bros. Melee one, but this one, I'm actually liking this.
The other two are random, you're always killing enemies, but they're always different. And then you're either destroying barrels, or...
Superman 64.
And I forgot to mention the lighthouses that you sometimes have to burn. And I was showing footage of Superman 64 for flying through rings. That's the most infamous game where you fly through rings.
Okay, I hate that game. You hate this game because this game's horrible.
I've never played Superman 64, and I don't know if you have. If you have played it, then show me your copy of Superman 64, or show me solid proof that you've played it.
PJ, already review it. Thank you.
I won't review Superman 64 because I don't have an N64 and I don't use emulators on actual PCs. And yeah, sorry, but it's not gonna happen. Well, it's not going to happen anytime soon. It might happen one day in the future, but I definitely can't promise that.
Graphically, Spyro is a very nice game to look at, especially since this was Insomniac's.
Alright, let's just head back.
But, unlike someone I know, which is not Stimpyland, this game still has some great music.
In case you want to know who that person is who says that Spyro 1 is their favourite soundtrack ever, it's G from. I hope that answered some of your questions.
I don't know what my favourite song is, but there are some pretty good ones, such as Wizard Peak.
Let's listen.
Yes, the one that was in the credits for the Amanda Show.
Here you go. Then, let's dance.
Even Spyro's beating out. Sonic, be out to the music. No. Fine, beat you.
Used in the credits in the Amanda Show. Thank you, really. Look it up if you don't believe me. I'm being serious. Seriously.
Yeah, we already looked it up. See that? From the Digital Gaming, the website. See that?
Yeah, I've heard that confirmation from quite a few places, such as Stimpyland and Digital Gaming, and maybe G from. I don't remember. I haven't seen that review in ages.
You don't believe me? Then beg you. I hate you. Go drown in a pool of lava. I hate you. Okay.
Lava.
But this song's still amazing.
Yeah, go drown in lava. It's easier to die in lava than in water because lava just burns you immediately. Water, you gotta wait to drown.
Okay.
I also love the music for the hub world that Wizard Peak is in. Magic Crafters. Oh, what the beep.
Now that was meant to be a mistake that, you know, I was going to delete. But then I decided, hey, let's make this a little joke. The end.
They should do the
So that was actually intentional.
trick.
Okay. Oh my god, you killed Spyro.
There we go.
Okay, whoa. Hold up. These blue guys look like similar to these, the other blue guys from Final Fantasy. Oh.
From Final Fantasy what? Oh, and just to let you know, on the Japanese box of Spyro 2, Spyro's eyes look like Pac-Man, just like Crash. But on the Japanese box of Spyro 1, you're not so lucky. But you are on the Japanese box of Spyro 2, so don't feel angry.
Oh, okay. Bang. Oh. Yeah, you killed some chickens. Oh.
That's because I like to kill chickens. Actually, I'm only joking.
Okay, here's a small thing. I forgot.
Now, after you save the dragons, they say something. Now, sometimes they say some useful things, such as this dragon, who is also the...
Did you just seriously skip back to ages away through the review? You just skipped, like, a whole bunch of minutes. I'm skipping this.
I don't think, two dragons say that. Nope, more...
Contact.
Well, I think it was, you know, before that section. I'm pretty sure it was. You know, wait, I think so. I know that I mentioned the dragon who forgets everything, and when I mention the voice acting, but it wasn't from that part of the video.
It's the Ice Age movie. They actually have this similar soundtrack as in the opening, where in actually like opening travel, they actually have a similar feeling like Spyro the Dragon. Spyro the Dragon. Seriously. Alright, I'll just skip that.
Yeah, skipping music.
Is that Cranky Kong? No.
Here's the dumb dragon.
Okay, guys, you got to admit that was pretty stupid. Is there anything wrong with Spyro 1?
Yeah.
I
You don't collect
plus,
gems.
just like every single
Yeah, we already talked about it.
fun, it controls fluid.
For the first time back in like...
He's like skipping a lot here, isn't he? Oh, we're 1 hour in. This is definitely my longest reaction video. I just hope that's not 2 hours long. Then I'll have to split it into 2 parts.
Thursday or something. Is it Thursday? Oh wait, it's Wednesday.
Is he planning a reaction video? Another reaction video of me on, like, another day of the week? Ooh, I don't know.
Sorry. It's Wednesday.
And yeah, the levels up there. Beeping, satisfying health, which means that you have 4 hits until you die.
He definitely likes to skip a lot of the video, let's just say that.
Yellow, blue.
When he's blue, you have 3 hits left. When he's green, you have 2 hits left. And if you get hit while he's green, he's gone. And if you get hit when Sparks isn't with you, you're gone. Nice and beep.
You are dead, dead, dead.
Keeping simple.
Check.
You can.
Why not now? Just.
It's always fresh. So
okay. Here it goes.
overall, Spyro the Dragon is a very, very, very good game. This game
He has skipped a lot of the review just so we could get to the part where I say thank you for watching.
is just great.
All 3 games are the best games of all time. While our least favorite Spyro games has to be the Eternal Night port on the DS and like you, and Enter the Dragonfly for the PlayStation 2.
Well, my favourite Spyro game is Spyro 2. Spyro 1 comes second. The worst Spyro game is most definitely Spyro the Eternal Night on the DS. I've always kind of liked Spyro Fusion, even if I hate it, I just have a soft spot for it. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly is so bad it's good. Its glitches are entertaining, and while it's slow and the frame rate sucks, and while there are a lot of problems, it's still entertaining with its glitches. I just like glitchy games. The reason why I don't like games such as Bugs Bunny Lost in Time is because it's slow paced and it's not very glitchy, from what I'm aware of. I just like platformers that have glitches in them. I just enjoy glitches in 3D platformers. I just love it. I just love glitches and 3D platformers because I love breaking the game. Well, unless the glitch is like freezing the game or clipping through the floor and dying because of terrible programming or terrible hit detection. But if it's an interesting glitch such as swimming in the air, clipping through gates, beating the game in like 2.5 minutes, fighting weird bosses, then yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Geeky Boy's a lot better.
Graphics are great, the music's great, the game has a lot of variety. Overall, this game is great, and I will give it a B+.
Me too.
Or maybe an A, I'll just give it a B+. But this game is still great. If you see this game for cheap, go buy it. It's definitely worth the money. Now, while it's not my favourite game of all time, and in case you're wondering what it is, that'll have to be Super Mario 3D World. This game is just incredible. Go buy it.
Maybe Mario 3D World is actually in the #2 spot, while Spyro the Dragon's coming in the #1 spot.
Wii U and
So, Spyro 1 is your favourite game of all time, is that what you're saying? You're interesting. I really do like Spyro games. Spyro 2 is my favourite, but Super Mario 3D World is my favourite game of all time just because it's so good. I just love using Cat Peach to break the game. I love speedrunning it. Speedrunning individual levels. I just enjoy playing it so much. The only thing that really, really annoys me is that you can't quit a level while in the air, which really sucks because you need Cat Peach if you want to do level speed runs, which is what I always do. So what you have to do is literally go back to the Wii menu and then start the game again, and not just because the Wii U doesn't have a reset button. That is the only thing that really annoys me, but the rest of the game is just incredible. Just buy Super Mario 3D World. It's the only game that I can give an S because that's my favourite game of all time.
Right now, favorite games of all time.
But this game gets an S. My best rating ever because it's my favourite game of all time.
Yes, all three trilogies I will give is S, while the other two, like Eternal Night on the DS and Enter the Dragonfly PS2 port, will be at F+, the F-.
I don't have an F+ rating. The F+ rating will be E. Okay. Spyro the Eternal Night F-, Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. I don't even know what to give it. But I'm going to give it a C, which is 6 out of 10. It's so bad it's good. It is enjoyable, but the flaws are so obvious. I would like to give it something a bit higher, but it's just awful. It's just so bad it's good. I give it a C.
Alright. Spyro the Dragon is still a solid game which you should definitely buy if you have a PS1, PS2, or PS3, and you should download it on the PlayStation Store if you have a PS3 or PS Vita or PS4, I think.
Okay.
Just
Okay, let's head back.
Wait, what? 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 Guys, seriously, go!
Here's another Angry Birds, some plushes left over. Angry Birds speaker.
Nice. Look. Does this look like Ripto to you? Does this look like Ripto?
Seriously, guys, that kind of looks like Ripto. Now, in English, it spells Spyro, but it just says Ripto. It looks like it says Ripto. Ripto's name came from the Japanese spelling for Spyro. Now, the only thing that looks really different is the R, which is an S, but still, it's just interesting. The I looks weird. Seriously, the fact that in Japanese, a Y looks like a P, that is just interesting. Seriously, it does look like Ripto, and Ripto was named after the Japanese spelling for Spyro.
Yes, we know it, like, we watched it the first time back in Wednesday. It really is titled Ripto. Yeah, Digital Gaming got that, and Insomnia Games actually used it as a villain, as the bad guy, Ripto, in the first Spyro game. The second one.
Yeah, you mean the second one. Yes. And I can't even see him on the Japanese box of Spyro 2. And I don't think that Ripto's on any of the boxes for Spyro 2. I think in Japan Ripto was called Riputo. Yeah, that's a weird name. But Spyro's name already looked like Ripto, so it makes sense.
Yeah, here's a little trivia. Well, Spyro name's actually named after the Greek word fire.
I know what Spyro means. Spyro was kind of a mixture between the Greek word for fire, pyro, and the Latin word for to breathe, Spiro. Then they just mixed them together and got Spyro. And in, like, the Latin languages version of Spyro, the Spyro games, well, they're not Latin, but still, it's just like the ones based on Latin, like French, Spanish, and Italian. Spyro's name is pronounced Spiro. From me playing the Spyro 3 in those languages. I couldn't do it in Spyro 2 because I have the PSN version, which is the North American version in Europe for whatever reason.
So, well, I'm not confused with the Latin word. Spiro means to breathe.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it does. I mean, Ripto's name did come from the Japanese spelling for Spyro. So anyway, let's play the Japanese version.
Okay.
Off of YouTube because on my original PlayStation the game looks like this.
black and white.
Yeah, that.
It's in black and white. I'm not going to show it to you right now, but hey, I can always do that with Crash Bandicoot 3. So I'm just going to show you, in case you don't know, I'm just going to show you what a NTSC PS1 game looks like on my PAL modded PS1. Here we go. This is what a NTSC PS1 game looks like on my PAL modded PS1, which was modded incorrectly. So imports are in black and white. And just look at Crush You Bandicoot dance. Just look at him. Yeah, that's very weird. Let's carry on.
But there are a few differences. For starters, there are numbers above the level counters, like in...
Okay, let's just skip it.
Because he doesn't want us to hear what's different in the Japanese version of Spyro 1.
Let's just need a storybook. Take a look, here's the story.
It's not a storybook, it's the manual. In fact, I can even show you that right now. I know it's like the third time in this video, I think. But it's not a storybook, it's the manual. Surely it may look like a storybook with its illustrations, but it's a manual. If you go a bit further in, it becomes manually. Even though that's not the right use of that word. See, it's the manual. It's the manual. It's the manual. And I forgot to mention that the Japanese version has some it's used a Pocket Station, which was like a Sega VMU, but for the PS1. It was only released in Japan. It was used for quite a few games in Japan. In North America, however, not so much, considering it never came out there. Yeah. From what I know, I think that the only game the only non-Japanese game that supports it, that you can do it on, like the North American version, is Final Fantasy VIII. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of games have Pocket Station features added to their Japanese versions, such as Spyro 1 and 2. And also the Japanese version of Crash 3. Yeah. If you want to know more about the Pocket Station, then you can look it up online.
It's a similar to Croc, but with the good way. Okay, look. Here it is.
The
Looks like
story's
Croc,
practically the same in the Japanese version, but
it looks like Croc, but it's only instruction manual in Japan. But this is actually Japan. But it looks similar to Croc because
the manual looks similar to Croc. That seems weird. I mean, I could get you an image of the Japanese version of Croc. So let's just look up Croc. And then I can just show you some Japanese images of Croc. There we go. It is an image of Croc, the Japanese version of Croc 1. I could get it closer for you to see, but hey, I do not see the similarities between the Japanese version of Spyro 1's manual and the Japanese version of Croc 1, but hey, maybe he might be referring to Croc 2. Who, if I can find an image of it. There we go. It's very small, but that's a Japanese image for Croc 2. Looks nothing like the Japanese manual of Spyro 1. You liar, MikeyAngryBird! Oh, that's weird. I've never seen a Japanese manual in black and white. I thought Japanese people love colour and cutesiness.
Gives us some backstory of Spyro with this cute
Okay, it only does that in the manual, but whatever.
anime look. It's a very nice artwork, I must admit. Well, I can't read it. The pictures just give you justice by showing you everything.
You may remember earlier on in the video I was like trying to tell you what it was saying, but I probably got a lot of it wrong.
That, and it still explains the game story, in a way. It shows Nasty North watching Spyro, and then he gets angry, then he just turns all of the dragons into stone.
Or frozen everything.
I meant crystals, guys.
President Business from the Lego movie, if you know.
President Business did not turn people into stone, he like glued them. He trapped them in glue. He didn't put them in crystals or stone, he trapped them in glue.
Crystals?
Or in the movie, they had to glue the universe like Craggle.
For whatever reason, but if you played the game then you should know, or you could just read the text, and if you can.
If you know Japanese, then you can read the text. If you can't read kanji or katakana, then you're stuck. Like me!
And yeah. Then it just shows us a bit more. It's showing us a better version of, you know, Spyro only being able to attack enemies in one way or another.
Let's go to the color of
he
Spyro.
He is always green.
Yeah,
I know, I have no idea why Sparks is always green, but in the Japanese version, Sparks is always green, no matter how much health you have. He has green Sparks. Infinite in Spyro 1, and he's still green in the Japanese version of Spyro 2. And, yeah.
Red, still green. But in American, different colors. Yellow, blue, green, and nothing.
Sparks is still nothing in the Japanese versions when you have one hit left, but when he's there, he's always green.
Well, except for red in the Spyro 2 Season of Flames. Yeah, it's red.
Or whatever.
It's red. What the heck, Sony?
Sony did not make Spyro Season of Flame, you silly boy. I mean, Sony does not make games on Nintendo systems, and Season of Flame was a Game Boy Advance exclusive. That's like if Sega made games on Nintendo systems. Oh, wait. Silly me.
Someone in Digital Flicks? Why did you put red in the Spyro 2 for the Game Boy Advance? Not
a reason.
I might be wrong, but I think it was Digital Clips which made Spyro 2 Season of Flame. Although, I could be wrong. You can look it up if you want to know the answer.
One difference with the Japanese version is that there are a whole bunch of signs, and trust me, they are everywhere.
Now, they're not too annoying because you don't have to read them, but sometimes you'll be trying to fight an enemy, then you accidentally burn the sign, and then you have to read it, and that is annoying. It doesn't happen too much, but it does happen occasionally, and it does get annoying because, you know, I've beaten the Japanese version of Spyro 1 100%.
Have to blame them to hit them from...
Okay.
Runs a lot slower in the Japanese version. He walks at the same speed, but he's slower.
Quick question, have you ever played the Japanese version of Spyro 1? I don't think he has, but yeah, he might have.
Just watch. Look at him go fast.
I don't know anyone who actually knows that you can do that. Or you do now, but I don't know anyone else who knows that you can do that.
Oh my god, I hear a Japanese voice. Yeah, you don't know that. Spyro's marketing campaign is actually known as he's the attitude, while in Japan is actually more pretty cute and caring.
Yeah, in America, Spyro was evil. Well, not evil, but angry. But in Japan, he had the reverse Kirby effect, where he was cute, happy, and very fun. Even though the games weren't as fun as their North American/European counterparts.
Free expression. Yeah, like Kirby, he's cute and serious.
Now, it actually kind of surprised me that the Japanese box for Kirby Triple Deluxe, and in Japan, that game has been out all year, whereas we don't have it yet. Kirby's actually angry, which is weird, considering that in Japan, Kirby's is marketed just like Spyro as cute and happy, and not angry and not very happy.
Always know is that the kids is.
Going so much faster, and the game is actually fun if you use this technique. But there's something that's so annoying in the Jap.
Okay.
Do this.
Yeah, the thing I'm about to mention did annoy me when I found out. And I only found out very, when I was making the review I found out.
Before you do a 100.
Yeah, let's just
But the graphics and the music and the sound effects, they're all still the same.
Yeah, it's all the same. The voice acting's obviously different because it's a Japanese version and everyone speaks in Japanese. But whatever.
Now let's get to the
Oh, wait, extra dialogue? He also voiced of the young woman? Yeah.
Yes, Spyro was voiced by a young woman in the Japanese versions. And I don't know her name, but it's something like Akiko something. I think. You can go look it up if you want. But I'm pretty sure that her first name is Akiko. And I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty close to pronouncing that right. Well, the Japanese people will say, Akiko? Yeah, that sounds right.
A girl.
Oh.
Yep, Spyro has extra dialogue, and trust me, it's so satisfying. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, I might have mentioned this earlier in the video, I don't know, because it's a day after I recorded the first part. But whenever you collect all of the gems in the Japanese version of Spyro 1, he yells, Yatta! Which is just hilariously satisfying. In Spyro 1, you had to, or in the non-Japanese version, you had to check when you had all the gems. But as soon as Spyro was Yatta! In the Japanese version of Spyro 1, you knew that you got all the gems. And in the Japanese version of Spyro 2, whenever you do anything successful, like get an orb, or get a talisman, or get all the gems, he does yell, or, I don't know, like, is Spyro still a boy in the Japanese version, or is he a girl because he's voiced by a woman? I don't know, but Spyro still yells Yada in the Japanese version. It doesn't sound as satisfying, but it still sounds good.
Yeah, also here's that. Well, the same authors from Crash Bandicoot always actually said that Sony Games actually make a protagonist as a dragon. Originally, he meant to be cute, bratty, mischievous, and something I've developed.
I actually don't care.
This version was actually easier than the American/European version. No, what?
Yeah, I actually found the Japanese version easier. Now, I've seen people had more trouble with the Japanese version, but I actually didn't have that much trouble, to be honest. Now, I've seen, like, this fail roll in the Japanese version of Spyro 1, and they literally spent, like, forever in the dungeon room and the flying room and lofty castle. But I did those areas on my first try. Either A, I'm really good, or B, I was just lucky. I found the Japanese version of Spyro 1 way easier than the non-Japanese version of Spyro 1, mainly because I could hit enemies so much easier. They didn't attack me as well. I could get every single thief easily because of the charge technique. It was just better. It was just easier. It wasn't as hard. And even though you were slower, you still walked and flew at the same speed, so it doesn't ruin the game.
The European version, there were quite a few enemies that really annoyed me, especially in the second half of the game, but in the Japanese version, they didn't annoy me that much.
Yeah, I died a lot more in the European version than the Japanese version.
Maybe it's because of slower speed, so
this is just,
to 100% one more time, and I beat the Japanese version 100% for my first time ever.
I've beaten the non-Japanese version of Spyro 1 like 3 times, I think. It might be 4, might be 2, I don't know. Wait, I think I've beaten it once on my PS3, and I think I've beaten it twice 100% on my PS1/2. So that's 3, although I might have beaten it 4 times, I don't know. The Japanese version I beat once 100% for this review.
Oh. Because Japanese games is your thing.
You're much better off.
Yes, I do want to become an import collector when I'm older. Although I'm not the worst. I'm not the biggest import collector ever. Old classic gamer. Yeah, he does. Yeah, that guy does collect a lot of imports. I don't collect as many imports as him. I only really collect the imports that I'm interested in, as in games I like.
The North American / European version. If you live in Japan, you'll.
So what's next? What's your next review for?
No beeping idea. I was gonna do an April Fool's review on Crash Bandicoot 1. Oh wait, shall I do it? I don't know. I'm not gonna do it. But I was thinking of doing it. But I was gonna pretend that it was on the PS4, and then I pretend that it was like a new Crash game on the PS4, but it was just the original Crash game, which I was playing on my original PS1. Yeah, that was my. Yeah, I'm just telling you what I was gonna do.
Giant GERR or giant exploding robot review.
Or grrr. It's like the shortened version of German, but with 2 R's.
Review. Number 30. Let's see.
I might do something special for my 30th review. I don't know.
Either Donkey Kong Country Turbo Freeze. Or
No, I can't review that. I don't own it. I don't have enough money, and I'm trying to save up for Mario Kart 8.
Or talk about the bad Lego game. Well, either.
Well, I've played that game, and Lego games aren't really my thing anymore. And while I am enjoying it, I don't really feel like reviewing it. Sorry. For my next review, I have no idea what the beef I'm gonna do. So, you'll just have to wait and see.
The Lego Movie, the video game, or Donkey Kong Country Turbo Freeze.
Yeah, why don't you take those 2 requests, and even though I rejected them, you could just put them in my reaction video. If you have any questions, what's so beeping ever, no matter how many you have, just put them in my Q&A video. I want to make a good Q&A video during one of my Let's Plays in the future, so please start asking me questions in that video.
It's your choice, so see you.
Better off importing the North American or European version. Out. I know I've said this before, but you're much better off playing the European / North American version. This version gets a B+, and this version gets a B.
Oh.
So just.
Yeah, both B's. Maybe we rate the Japan version a B+.
Remember, you can't judge a game unless you've played it. And I doubt that he's even played it. Although he could have. I don't know.
Well, the Spyro 2 Japan version, I give it a B. It's good. And finally,
the Japanese version of Spyro 2 isn't as good as the Japanese version of Spyro 1. There's no way to speed yourself up, and they removed the double jump, which sucks. So, Japanese version gets a C. Maybe a C+. At least you can still do some of the awesome glitches, such as some of the swimming in the air glitches. You can't do all of them because you can't get out of bounds in most of the areas, but you can do some. And there's still awesome proxy. There's still the awesome proxy jump you can do in Hurricos.
The other Japanese Mario games, we'll give it an S.
Well, remember that. But if you're interested in the Japanese version, then go.
And down into a C+. Because
boring.
Funny.
Anyway, goodbye.
Bye.
So, are you going to give your opinion on this review? I hope so.
I hope if you want to do a top 10, that's a Big Ben Bots video, with me, talk about it.
Yeah, make a video. You need to make a video of your top 10 favourite videos made by me. That'll be interesting.
If I try to talk about you. And so, can you do a next review, either Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze or a bad game, like the Lego game? Well, only good one, like the...
A bad game? I mostly sell my bad games, but I could try and find a bad game to review.
Or the Lego Movie for the Wii U.
I have the PS3 version because my parents went to America and they bought me the PS3 version because the Wii U's not region free because Nintendo are idiots.
Fine, you have PS3, but you didn't have the PlayStation 4 because it's too much money.
Actually, I don't have a PS4 because it's too much money. My parents won't let me have one because it's not backwards compatible. From what I heard, that they might make it backwards compatible. And I don't want one because there's no good non-violent games that I'm interested in of buying.
The back. It's awesome. Look at the graphics. It looks beautiful.
It just looks like your average Lego game.
For next week, so bye.
Bye. Anyway, that was actually a good reaction video. I like that, so please, I'm actually gonna like it. I'm not gonna favourite it, but I'm just gonna like it because I liked it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, rate, subscribe. This Big Bang Bot signing out. I want to know your opinions on my review. If you liked it enough, then please like and favourite it because you didn't. Anyway, goodbye.